It's very serious business.
Yeah.
It's very serious business. We're just trolling the American people with new departments named after online memes.
I don't know. I think he's getting. There's a possibility he might be getting trolled unless he's in on the joke, because this thing seems so unserious to me. Like, I read the release.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a heated discussion featuring Tim Miller and Sam Stein as they debate Trump's proposed Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, supposedly led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Is this a serious plan to reform government or just another political stunt? Let's break down their points and explore what this could mean. Let's get started.
Hey guys, it's me, Sam Stein again. I can't even pronounce my name. Sam Stein again. I'm with Tim. We're plowing through this because God knows Trump isn't give us a rest.
Tell me another member of the Five has been appointed to the cabinet. Has anybody else from the Five
Not Jessica Tarlov or Dana
Greg
Perino,
Gutfeld?
no.
What about the big fat guy that's on sometimes? It's also on Gutfeld. Tyrus?
Oh, Tyrus. Yeah, no. He hasn't
Has Tyrus been appointed to anything?
No. We're waiting. Well, I got my money on Judge Janine. I know you're making the Jesse Waters jokes, but I think Judge has someone. We're here. First of all, subscribe as always. But we're here to talk about Elon and Vivek. They've been appointed to. I think it's a completely made up position. No, it's definitely a made up position. Yeah. The heads of the Department of Government Efficiency. It doesn't exist. This department.
Do you get the joke?
There's two heads of this department.
The joke is they called it the Department of Government Efficiency Doge because of Dogecoin. It's like a meme.
I get it.
It's very serious business.
Yeah.
It's very serious business. We're just trolling the American people with new departments named after online memes.
I don't know. I think he's getting. There's a possibility he might be getting trolled unless he's in on the joke, because this thing seems so unserious to me. Like, I read the release a couple times. First of all, it's him and Vivek. They're like going to consult with other government agencies to create recommendations about how to cut them and streamline them. And they also have until July 4th, 2026 to do this. Like, what is the point of this? It's a commission.
It's kind of like it's Simpson Bowls. We did this. Alan
we
Simpson
did this.
And Erskine Bowles, which I was for. I was for the Simpson and Bowles
you were?
commission. So maybe I'm for this. I don't know. Vivek Ramaswamy Musk doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't come off the tongue quite like that. Yeah.
If you're finding this breakdown interesting and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Your support really helps me bring more discussions like this to the channel. Let's get back to the video.
They also have until July 4th, 2026 to do this. Like, what is the point of this? It's a commission.
It's kind of like it's Simpson Bowls. We did this. Alan
we
Simpson
did this.
And Erskine Bowles, which I was for. I was for the Simpson and Bowles commission. So maybe I'm for this. I don't know. Vivek Ramaswamy Musk doesn't have the same ring to it. No,
it doesn't come off the tongue quite like that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess the fundamental question here is here's what the Simpson Bowles like. At some level, it's like President appoints people to commission, like story as old as time, right? And so as these coaches have gone in the past, they make recommendations. It goes to Congress. Congress dithers. Maybe they pass a version of it. Like that's how the system works. Like back when we had a system that worked, which was a while ago now. So the question with this is like, is that what this is? I don't think that's what Elon and Vivek think that they're signing up for. I think that Elon and Vivek think that they're signing up for Twitter Part 2, where Elon went in and he fired 85% of the workforce. That's what they think that they're doing.
That's what I wonder. I wonder if they recognize that they're just being kind of kicked to the curb or being told to play with ineffectual toys. Here's what the release says.
But are they?
So here's the release. It says, Doge will become, quote, the Manhattan Project of our time. It will not. Republican politicians have dreamed about the objective of Doge for a long time. To drive this kind of drastic change, the Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House and the Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and create an entrepreneurial approach to government never seen before. So they're just going to advise. They have no power. They can't, do anything. They can't make cuts. That's not how this works.
Okay.
Do they know that?
So there are two potential things at play here.
Sure.
One is what you just laid out, right? Which is that this is a farce, that they're just going to, like, whatever, put together a PowerPoint that Mike Johnson will put in the circular receptacle. And then Donald Trump will take credit for it and say it was great. We made America great again. They did a great job, kind of like the wall, right? Like, that's one option. And that is, like, ridiculous and absurd and kind of in line with the clownishness that we are about to live through. That's like the sort of farce version, whether this is tragedy or farce.
What's the non-farce version?
I mean, the tragedy version of this, look, I followed Vivek around in Iowa during his campaign for a while. I spent a decent amount of time with him. And he had, like, some pretty, what I would say are far out there views on how to dramatically restructure the government and how to, like, I'd have to go back and look at my notes, but he was figuring out ways around the civil service rules. Right?
All right, so let's pause for a moment here. Up to this point, it's clear that Tim Miller and Sam Stein are questioning whether Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy truly understand the limitations of this so-called Department of Government Efficiency. Is this just symbolic, or do they actually plan to slash jobs and programs with real impact? And let's not forget, the programs likely to be targeted, like Medicare and Social Security, are ones that directly affect everyday people. It's hard not to wonder if this is more about making headlines than real solutions. What do you all think so far? Are we looking at a genuine effort or just a power move? Let's get back to it.
Right, where like there were certain ways that you could fire a bunch of people that, like, he was arguing were technically legal based on, his reading, or some legal nerd that told him this is reading of, various statutes. And I think Musk feels like that he's going to do that. And then what this really is that they're going to come up with a way to try to slash the government in massive ways, indiscriminate ways. I think it was key to what Vivek was saying. Is that, like, as I recall, Vivek's argument was basically, you can't the government rules make it very hard to fire civil servants, for cause. Like, you've got to go through various things. But if you just, like, mass lay off people, like, there are ways around it. And so that they would do that and then basically challenge the courts, figuring that the Supreme Court would end up being on their side. There'd be some lower courts that would go against them. And then, like, that's what this is. Like, so it's there, the point of the spear in a showdown with the courts. And that could get very ugly. I think that could be farcical or ugly, I guess is my point.
So yes, now there's copious reporting that they want to do this, right? Like Schedule F stuff, where they just basically can file civil servants, purge the government of people who they don't think are loyalists. They talked about moving entire agencies to different states outside of DC, which they know would just thin them out because you can't just uproot your family like that. So undoubtedly, they have the intention to try to get rid of a huge swath of government. There's two things, though, that I think are distinguishable here, which is, one, firing employees is different than reducing government, right? Like, Congress will appropriate money for agencies to do a certain amount of things. You can, say you can do that with less people in government, and that might be just what they do. Two is, I was all for the idea that they were going to do exactly what you said, right? They're going to go in there and just try to cut. I mean, Elon was talking about, like, $2 trillion of cuts and pain immediately that the American public will have to endure. This is stuff he said publicly before the election. But then this press release makes me think that that's not this. Like, they're partnering with the White House and OMB. They have to conclude the work no later than July 4th, 2026. Like, that's a year and a half plus from now. If this was let's get in there and just absolutely tear shit up.
All right, as we wrap up, it's clear this Department of Government Efficiency raises more questions than answers. Tim Miller and Sam Stein have pointed out some serious concerns, whether this is a real effort to reform government or just a stunt with potentially risky consequences for programs like Medicare and Social Security. And what about Musk and Ramaswamy? Do they even have any real power here, or is this just for show? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think this is meaningful reform or political theater? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more discussions like this. Thanks for watching.